We're a Budweiser.
Yeah, this is pretty neat in here too.
Oh yeah, definitely. So here's most of our horses. Looks like most of our guys inside right now. All of these horses, even though they make it look easy, they actually do have a job with us. All of these are younger horses with the exception of Serendipity. The tails are shorter so they don't get stuck in the wagon.
Yeah.
Whoa. Also, in addition to our location in Fort Collins and those 5 traveling teams, we also have 2 breeding centers. We have one in St. Louis and the other is in Menifee, California. We usually have about 40 little guys born each year as well. So total throughout Anheuser-Busch, we get about 250 horses throughout the country. To celebrate the repeal of the federal prohibition laws. So they used that hitch to carry the first cases of post-prohibition Budweiser to Franklin Roosevelt at the White House. And so they've been with us ever since, and now we have them in those commercials and going to all of those events each year.
They drink 30 gallons of water a day.
And if you get a chance to peek in, we do have Nick. He's our resident Dalmatian. He's grown up here since he was just a little guy. But originally Dalmatians were used to guard the beer wagons when the drivers made their deliveries.
I'm sure they're very well groomed.
Yeah, every day
They're
they
very
get
spoiled.
Are you going to wake up for us, Puppy? He's either dead to the world or you can't leave without him. It's one or the other.
Probably doesn't like being in that damn cage.
And when they are done with the break portion of the tour, you're more than welcome to come on back and take pictures. There might be some outside there in the brochures. Do you have any questions before we head on over to the pit?
How many people
We were.
Just 3. Yeah, I was looking, they're actually hiring for one in Orlando, and I'm moving to Orlando in May, so what hopefully, what I be called for.
If you're on one of the traveling teams around the world, I like to travel. How do we go? Pretty well. The seasoned ones usually are just and they each get their own.
No, we don't.
Oh, so they're very
They don't take them, they just keep, but they give you a different one each hour,
Really?
One hand
or different tour.
Joey's not here.
Dang, we only get 2 beers. What the hell? That must be the cars they stock all that crap on.
So kind of like you were saying, we are one of the smaller stuff. We have about, well, we have 12 throughout the U.S. and several international. So all of those 12
I can't hear what she's saying.
So we produce more variety of products. We do about 30 different beers here out of the 50. St. Louis, which is our largest plant, we do about 7 products. They put,
St. Louis is their largest plant. Never plants. What kind of plants?
Hops, I think, or something.
As you can see, we opened that.
Hey, look at this thing coming out of the ground there.
That was just part of a larger.
You got a little geyser.
And then open
Well, they make.
Restart production here by the
Make it out of.
So they take that in and make the beer.
Yeah. What were those plants back there?
Those during the summer would be our hops.
Hops, that's right. Hops.
Man, you know your beer pretty good, Eddie.
See all that snow over there?
Damn.
That's probably a lot higher too.
Yeah.
That's not 12%.
Picasso would be proud. It smells so good in here.
Well, first off, I always just like to take a survey of who's been on the tour before. A couple of you? A few, mostly. Oh, cool. So I can't make up my numbers. No, I'm just kidding. Everything you hear here is what you hear on the other tours. This is, like we said, our new brew house, and the tanks that you see here all are going to be the same size, do the same job as the ones we'll see next door. These are just a little bit newer. So what we're going to do for our brewing process is boil together barley malt, rice, and water in those 3 tanks along the back wall. Those are called mash cookers. And they're basically just helping us to prepare those starches in the grains, convert those into fermentable sugars that we'll use later on when we add our yeast. So we're boiling those 3 ingredients together for a couple hours. When we're through with that, you kind of have a thick, gritty material. It's kind of like oatmeal, something like that. So you actually want to strain those out, right? So we don't have to drink your brewer here. So you do that in the Laverton. That's that huge tank kind of right in front of us over on the left. If you were to look inside the Laverton, it just acts as a giant strainer. Gets rid of those spent grains. You get a nice kind of amber colored liquid. Now that liquid goes through one more step while it's inside the brew house. That's to go into one of our 2 brew kettles. We have 2 over on the right hand side. Once it's set into a brew kettle, we add our next ingredient, which are hops. And this liquid will continue to boil for another 5 hours or so. So at this stage, we don't quite have beer. We call this liquid wort. It's a German word, just meaning kind of a young or an unfinished beer. Once it's inside primary fermentation, we add our yeast, and then we consider it to be a beer at that point. So all in all, this step takes you anywhere from about 5 to 10 hours, just depending on whatever beer you're brewing, typically about 7 hours for Budweiser. And it's all controlled by our brewers. This is one of their computer rooms, and also / their break room, so it doesn't look like they're doing anything. And that's what's going on here. This is the shortest step of the brewing process. All in all, it's going to take you a month from start to finish.
In here?
Total from the entire process, and then this is only that 5 to 10 hour period.
How does it get from those tanks?
It's just all moving through pipes that are underneath the tanks. They have like these little valves that open.
So when they make one kind of beer, do these get cleaned out?
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
God, I wish we slowed down, but it's alright.
So like we said, all of these tanks are the same size. We actually go down 18 feet in terms of barrels. If you want to do gallons, each tank holds 26,000 gallons. 1 barrel is 31 gallons or 2 tanks. On average, we go through this process about 35 times every day. So that means we brew the equivalent of around 60,000 kegs 7 days a week.
Yeah, there's
So basically, the lesson of the day is there's a lot of beer going on here most of the time. And generally at this point is when we stop and show you a quick video. Is everyone okay with that? Or I find that
Hope you're enjoying your visit to Anheuser-Busch.
Have you ever wondered what...
there isn't a really big difference. It's not really that hard. That's a really
cooling at the yeast. Wow.
So if you get a chance to look to your very far right-hand side, you'll see those giant, they look like soup cans basically, and those are our primary fermentation tanks. So the cooled wort will flow into the primary fermentation tanks, and as it does so, we add the yeast. Then we let it sit for about 5 to 6 days, and during that time, we get our carbon dioxide and the alcohol, and it is a full beer at this point. It would be drinkable, but we don't consider it Budweiser yet because it still has to do that one process that Bill was talking about, which is beechwood aging. We'll see that a little bit later. But that's what we're doing in this room. The first ingredient that I always like to talk a little bit more about is the yeast. If you get a chance to look out these windows, you feel it straight across. There's and actually a worker. A darker gray tank with the funnel-shaped bottoms. Kind of have all those dimples in there. Those are the tanks where we store our brewer's yeast. And that same yeast strand has been maintained from the original one since 1876. So whenever a brewery needs more, it's delivered to us, it's cultivated in the lab in St. Louis, and then brought to the plants. And also the pictures behind us just give you a little bit more idea about our ingredients. Budweiser does have just the 5 that we've been talking about. All beers pretty much follow the same path. There's always going to be a little bit difference. That's mostly going to be with rice. Rice is what we call the fifth or the adjunct grain. You can leave this out of a beer that you usually using more flavor. We get barley from all over the place. Some is locally grown for us here in Fort Collins and throughout Colorado. We get some from Wyoming, the Dakotas, and we also have a large milling plant and a large barley fields throughout Minnesota. And it can be roasted to several different degrees. That display just shows you a couple different ones that we use. Darkest one on the far end goes into our bare knuckle stout, which is the darkest beer that we currently make. But most of our beers here are lagers, and so usually, there's always exceptions to the rule, usually lagers are going to have a little bit more lighter roast like the 2 you see in there as well. But are about 18 to 30 feet long if they're in the ideal conditions, and that would not be Colorado. So even if you were to come here during the summer, if you saw our hops vines out there, or what would be hops vines, they would just look like a couple dead leaves, really no hops. They like a lot of humidity and a lot of moisture. So we just try to grow them here during the summertime so you can kind of get an idea of what they look like. But this is what the hops look like in the good conditions. We get about 60% of our hops from Germany, and the rest we get from Idaho, Oregon, and Washington. What we actually use is the resin that's in between the petals. So when we add all these hops to the brew kettle, as it boils off, it's that resin that gives off that different degree of spice and bitterness and flavor. So if you have a really hoppy beer, it's usually more of those kind of bitter styles, usually one without a 5th grain as well. And they look kind of just like a Brussels sprout or something like that. They range anywhere from a yellowish color all the way to a green. And just to give you an idea, there's about 8.
In one picture, they had them growing right up to the roof and the ceiling.
Oh, really?
Big tanks.
So basically recycle more than we need, which is a pretty good deal. Also, when we talk about beechwood aging, you'll see a lot of our beechwood chips, and those get recycled as well, and it's turned into mulch for the communities throughout Colorado. We also get rid of a lot of that spent grain. So what we do with that is distribute it or donate it, sell it as cattle feed. So we are feeding about 4% of the nation's dairy cows right now. And also, usually some folks are familiar with our theme parks. We do own several theme parks through Busch Time. Beer packaging and shipping is the largest part of our entire plant here. In total, it covers over 600,000 square feet. In Fort Collins, we do have 3 can lines, just like the one we see here. We have 3 bottling lines and 1 draft line. Basically how the can filler works, I kind of look down and picture it as the base of a clock. So what happens is the empty cans are picked up by the machine at the 3 o'clock position. They'll each get inserted into a slot, and the machine will spin counterclockwise, filling each one of those with beer. and then they'll leave at the 6 o'clock position. So from there, the ones we see whirring by are heading to the right into that large square stainless steel machine. And that's one of the mid-seamers. So right as the cannons head in there, they'll automatically get sealed with the lid, and then they're heading out and away from us. And all the ones we see shooting out under that black and white box are being automatically checked, and if so, or if needed, rejected if they don't meet our standards. Any can that wasn't properly filled or stented is automatically checked, and it'll just be rejected out into that cove. The rest that are accepted are going to keep on going away from us, and eventually they'll do a U-turn and head back toward us into the pasteurizer. So this can filler is not really moving at its full speed, but it's almost there. This machine fills 2,000 cans per minute, about 33%. For a given day here, we end up filling and packaging just about 7.8 million cans, 5.1 million bottles, and we can fill 4,000 kegs every 8 hours. So yeah, that's just in one day. And we're one of the small ones.
You work 24 hours?
Yeah, the plant does operate 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. The only time we're not running pretty much at our full levels are on the weekends. We usually shut down most of our lines, so we'll keep 1 or 2 running. Yeah, the worst time is Sunday evenings when they're trying to bring it back out from the weekend and get all those lines. We usually maybe will keep 1 bottle and 1 can line open, and that's about it. So trying to bring everything back up for the week is sometimes interesting.
Yeah.
It sounds too excited. Okay. Well, the reason we ask at this point is to see if anything sounds good. You can see in our next display pretty much all of the products we're brewing. Now, unfortunately, a couple products are missing because we basically just started to run out of room. So this gives you a pretty good idea of what we have throughout Anheuser-Busch. Those numbers on the back wall represent our worldwide sales volume to date since the beginning of the year. So we're already at about 20 million barrels only 3 months in. So these are a bunch of the products that we have. Most people are familiar with the Budweiser family. We also make all the Michelob products, Busch, Natural, and the O'Doul's, which are the non-alcoholic beers. In 2006, we purchased the Rolling Rock Company, so those products are brewed in Anheuser-Busch facilities now. Next door is everything we brew here in Fort Collins, with a couple exceptions. The one product you don't see in here is our new seasonal draft, which is called Spring Heat Spiced Wheat. We have a new seasonal product that comes out. We purchased the Hardin Brewery Group, and so now we own all of those and we distribute and make Hardin. So they're not an Anheuser-Busch brewery, they're still ours. So we just have one in Blue Montana, that's our plants. Alright, got a couple more.
Gonna take a picture?
Stop working. Yeah. Yeah.
say? Should they chill it at 42 degrees? Something like that.
That's still home to our largest brewery as well as corporate headquarters. Each of the plants do operate 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And the health of all of these guys are with age. Not like Lauren or something like that.
Oh, in Houston.
Yeah.
Cheers, dude.
We
Yeah.
also have a plant in Wuhan, China, and in Mortlake, England. Okay. Okay.
Well, they used to.
We got that picture.
It was bigger, so they closed it with a push cart. It was just a pop shop.
Well, it's like the second.
That's for college.
So what's the name of those plants?
Hops.
Hops. And you got some Apache snow.
Yep. That's what I got you. That keys and stuff was good. She gave me a sample of it.
There's the Kiza?
It was like a lime. Is that the original one? For the Prohibition?
The Prohibition.
To repeal a Prohibition, 1933. It's the 50s. They were easy to see, huh?
The symbol of Budweiser. Eddie's over there harassing the horses. Yeah, it's a butt shot. That's Sean. Hey! Oh, what is his name? Nick?
Mick?
Mick?
Oh, Mick.
Hey, Mick.
Yeah.
What's happening, Mick?
He's got one black ear, look at that. He's waiting for dinner. That guy's gonna come feed him, see?
Yep.
See? He knows dinner time's coming. Pretty neat.
Old Wheeler.
Yeah.
Old
See you
Wheeler.
later, Wheeler.
What's happening, Wheeler?
Did you see this? Of all the brands we got here?
Old Mick's waiting for his food. He's over there, Mick. He's not coming to you.
That's the Visitor Center in Clydesdale.
What was that?
That's the Visitor Center in Clydesdale. There we go.
Oh, where we're at? I can't get it on this. Too much glare.
Nick keeps on looking.
Hey, Mick.
I've never seen a dog like that with one black ear like that. You know, they usually are spotted all over.
He wants to get out and run.
Looks like he wants to get on foot.
Sterling's over here mooing my. Darth. Hey, Darth.
Darth. They probably haven't come up with any new names.
What's going on, Darth?
He's gonna take this one out, deputy. Yep. Just put the coat on, man. Put the coat on, man.
Serendipity.
Yep. Okay, well.
There you have it.
See, that's a Cooter Valley, I'm pretty sure. That's all in the center of the Rockies. right there where the Mustangs are, right? Where the horses.
Yeah, we walked around the stadium.
Across there. This is a big field once you get up on top of that hill.
The big gardens.
Yeah.
These are Denver plants. They don't do too well.
Some of that blooming too.
We're trying to come back. Those are nice.
Like wildflowers. Probably fall right through, wouldn't we? We go over there and sit on that bench.
I can go there and sit on the frozen ice.
Afraid you fall through. Here's some cactus, prickly pear.
Okay, all right, bye. Have a good day. You too. Bye-bye.
I think I just got her. Whole phone conversation on tape.
Sit over there by that gate. Wait for that. Wait for them to drive by, run by. Nice day.
Got some Chinese chinks.
Thor Smith Porter, Plains Garden.
Looks like
Right here.
Texas.
The High Plains seemed like a vast wasteland to 19th century explorer Stephen Long. Little did he know that the region had been sustaining people for thousands of years, and he would be shocked to find that today, thanks to irrigation, eastern Colorado is a very productive agricultural region. Colorado's mountain ranges are the highest in the contiguous United States. The state has 12 distinct ranges. Their great size and severe weather make travel and settlement difficult, yet people have always met those challenges to harvest the mountain's treasures. Ancient hunters came for game, trappers for furs, miners for metals, and skiers for snow. The mountain's most precious resource may be water. The Continental Divide splits Colorado into two great watersheds, one flowing to the Pacific, the other to the Atlantic. 4 major U.S. rivers rise here, each a lifeline and a thirsty land. The courses of these rivers have helped determine the course of Colorado's history, where people settled, how they traveled, and who held the power. The western slope is Colorado's oldest landscape. Its canyons and deserts expose rocks that formed hundreds of millions of years ago. And Colorado's oldest farming culture thrived here, the ancient Puebloans of the Four Corners region. The western slope is also home to the state's oldest continuous residents, the Ute Indians.
Humans have shaped the land dramatically, but the land has left just as large an impression on us. When we understand it, we gain a better understanding of ourselves and of all those who have called this land home.
The first humans to inhabit this imposing landscape had only their feet to carry them. Arriving about 11,000 years ago, these hunter-gatherers lived in small groups and wandered constantly, building a new camp wherever survival demanded. They followed the herds and hunted them with deadly efficiency, bringing down their prey with stone-tipped spears. Over time, ancient Coloradans established semi-permanent camps. Many of these sites sat at the foot of the mountains or near the Colorado River, where fresh water flowed constantly and food, fuel, and shelter abounded. At these more settled habitations, people spent less time traveling and more time stockpiling provisions.
In about AD 500 in southwestern Colorado, permanent year-round settlements began to emerge in this maze of canyons. More than any Coloradans before them, the inhabitants of these villages shaped the land to their advantage. They established thriving farms of corn, squash, and beans, and carved out reservoirs to store water for their crops. Over time, they erected large permanent dwellings called pueblos, built lookout towers and roads, and created elaborate art and artifacts. As their technology developed, their numbers grew. But for all their sophistication, the Puebloans remained subject to the landscape's extremes. A 25-year drought in the late 13th century emptied their lakes and wilted their crops. After 800 years of prosperity, the ancient Puebloans had to abandon their communities forever.
3 centuries after the ancient Puebloans vanished, another complex culture abruptly appeared, the Spanish. They made their first visits here sometime in the mid-1600s and claimed all of present-day Colorado for the Spanish crown. Exploring parties periodically made their way into this territory over the next 150 years, as the Spanish sought to gain control of their northern frontier.
They failed for a simple reason. Indians occupied the land. The Utes, Apaches, Comanches, and other tribes have been living here for centuries. Their encounters with the Spanish, ironically, heightened the Indian hold on Colorado. But the Spanish brought horses, which enabled Indians to travel farther and faster than ever before. In about 1640, the Utes became the first tribe to get horses, and they quickly expanded their range to include more than half of present-day Colorado. Other tribes also profited from the horse, becoming more formidable hunters and warriors.
The Spanish colonial government gave way to a Mexican republic in 1821. At about the same time, another revolutionary nation appeared on the opposite bank of the Arkansas, the United States. The Louisiana Purchase gave the U.S. a foothold in the Rockies, and American fur trappers began coming here in the 1820s, collecting hides on mountain streams and selling them at wilderness trading posts. At the most important of these, Bent's Fort on the Santa Fe Trail, Americans, Mexicans, and Indians did business side by side. The Indians still held the land, but the visitors had come to stay.
Everything changed very suddenly with the discovery of gold in 1859. That year, tens of thousands of people came here from the United States, arriving via the South Platte and Smoky Hill trails. Almost overnight, mining towns rose in the Rockies: Blackhawk, Central City, Georgetown. At the same time, commercial centers appeared at the base of the mountains: Denver, Trinidad, Pueblo, Colorado Springs. Colorado's present boundaries were drawn in 1861, and pioneers immediately began filling in the open spaces.
They transformed the landscape as they went. Farmers fenced the prairies and plowed them up. Lumberjacks logged whole forests. Miners burrowed deep under the mountains, and ranchers filled the grasslands with herds of cattle and sheep. The transformation included railroads: the Denver Pacific, Kansas Pacific, Denver, Rio Grande, and Western, Colorado Central, and countless other lines. And a web of ditches and reservoirs emerged to supply water to Colorado's burgeoning farms and growing population.
The settlers quickly crowded out Colorado's Native American inhabitants. The Cheyennes, Arapahoes, Comanches, and Kiowas were sent to distant reservations, while the Utes saw their territory nearly vanish. They signed a series of treaties to protect their homeland in western Colorado, but no treaty could hold back the tide of settlement. By 1881, about half the Ute tribe had been sent to Utah, and the rest were confined to small reservations in southwestern Colorado.
Denver's population in 1880 stood at 35,000. 20 years later, in 1900, it had increased sevenfold to 250,000. A similar population explosion happened all over the state, particularly along the Front Range, bringing more people than the land had ever seen. And the trend had just begun. Between 1900 and 2000, Colorado's statewide population grew from less than 500,000 to more than 4 million. Accommodating all those people required enormous adaptation and brought heavy changes to the landscape. Open prairie gave way to street grids lined with telephone poles and power lines. The automobile age arrived, and with it a web of crisscrossing highways. Elaborate chains of reservoirs and canals funneled water across the Continental Divide to the heavily populated Front Range. With these adaptations, the age-old challenges of distance, dryness, and altitude seemed to recede. Coloradans lived with greater ease than ever before. But progress came at a cost. The air and water grew polluted, forests thinned, and wildlife vanished.
These rapid changes made the land seem more precious than ever and sparked a movement to preserve its long-term health. Throughout the 20th century, Coloradans set aside special landscapes as national forests, national parks, protected rivers, and wildlife preserves. Yet at the same time, Colorado became more densely developed than ever. The state added nearly 1 million new residents in the 1990s alone. Urban sprawl, once confined to the Front Range, began to afflict mountain valleys and rural communities, particularly in the ski areas.
And so the land still looms as perhaps the greatest challenge confronting today's Coloradans. Although we have made incredibly sophisticated adaptations, this remains a challenging place to live, one that tests the ingenuity and vigilance of every Colorado generation.
This region have all had one challenge in common: water. It's one of our state's most precious and limited resources. Colorado is truly unique. Water flows into most states. In Colorado, all of our major rivers originate here and flow out of the state. Precipitation is our only source of water. This precipitation is primarily in the form of winter snow. Spring snowmelt supplies almost 80% of the water to our rivers. Unfortunately, this bounty of water is seasonal. Conditions during most of the year provide little additional water to our rivers.
In order to use this scarce supply of water, settlers to the region have always been forced to divert water out of our streams. Early miners diverted water to extract minerals. And from 1852, with the establishment of the San Luis Peoples Ditch, settlers diverted stream water to grow crops. These and other competing uses resulted in Colorado's complex system of water rights. The seasonality of Colorado's water supply has also made water management a necessary part of our history. Recognizing that a reliable supply of water required diversion and storage from seasonal streams, the ancient Puebloans constructed the region's first reservoirs. As Colorado grew, early developers realized that while most of the state's water flows to the west, the majority of the population was settling in the east. To get water from where it is to where it's needed, engineers created a series of tunnels, channels, pumps, and reservoirs to move water from west to east. Without these diversion systems and storage facilities, farming communities in many of our cities could not exist.
Today, agricultural production uses over 86% of our available water supply. The remainder is used by cities, industries, and for recreation. In order to keep up with the demand, Coloradoans are reaching deep into the region's natural reserves, our aquifers. In 1930, only about 200 wells tapped into this natural storage. In 2005, there were over 350,000. As Colorado's population continues to grow, we must be mindful of this precious natural resource.
Architect Frank Lloyd Wright is known for his distinctive architecture.
Winter Park, here we
By
go.
today's standards, he was not durable, not even functional, and he did not manage.
Roger, got the time.
This is our second date.
I know. It's something at 2020. I just expect more. You ready for a lifetime vision commitment? Then get 2020 at the 2020 Institute, home of the exclusive 2020 Institute Basic Guarantee. The 2020
Snow always affects him this way. Starting salaries for college graduates will be up this year. Students with a BA in business, engineering, and/or finance can expect between $43,000 and $55,000. That's $1,000 a week. Hollywood struck it rich last year. The
That's
total
some serious
global take
nerd
at the
there.
movie box office was $25.8 billion. The big one was Pirates. Cellist conductor Rostropovich, at 79, is out of the hospital and home, seems fine. Master winemaker Ernest Gallo has died at 97. He made $1 billion from a recipe he found in a public library. Then there's Nikolai Suchagin, a gangster in Russia who wanted to be an architect. And he is trying, but his two-story house ended up 13 stories. He has built a log cabin 144 feet tall, half as high as the Big Ben Tower in London. But his 15-year project is crumbling before it can be completed. After being interrupted by 4 more years in prison, Sutyagin says that he is broke. He lives on the bottom floor of his wooden skyscraper in 4 poorly heated rooms, while what's left of his fantasy decays around him. And now, page 4, the numbers are in. More than 10 million of us had our identities stolen just last year, ruining our credit, costing Americans more than $50 that has proved it can stop identity theft for pennies a day. LifeLock provides a $1 million guarantee that your identity will never be stolen. For more information, go to lifelock.com or dial 1-877-LifeLock. Guarantee your good name by making a phone call to 1-877-LifeLock. Ryan Crocker, our ambassador to Pakistan, will be our next ambassador to Iraq. The iconic lamps labeled Tiffany have long been
directions between Colfax Avenue and East 470, also both directions
Bertha
at
Pass.
Golden, Highway 58. There's more construction on Wadsworth in both directions, north of I-70 just before West 64th, and an 850 gateway caller told us to avoid Colorado Boulevard northbound if you're heading that way. They're doing some pothole work. One lane is closed between Arkansas and Cherry Creek.
That's a nasty snurk.
Where can you find the most complete local information? At your doorstep. Look for your Dex Denver Metro and Dex Plus directories coming soon to your front door. And find the most complete local information from A to Z. Dex knows. Here's the forecast for the 7-county metro area today. Mostly sunny and mild today. Highs in the upper 50s to low 60s. It'll be partly cloudy tonight with light winds. Lows in the low 30s. Tomorrow, Thursday, partly cloudy and warm afternoon sprinkles. High around 60 degrees. Looking nice on Friday and Saturday with highs in the 50s. Sunday, forget the time change. Spring forward and enjoy the spring-like weather. High will be 62. From the 9 News Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Nick Carter. News Radio 850 KOA.
It is a beautiful 57 degrees in Denver and 57 in Boulder. I'm Stacy Farr from News Radio 850 KOA, 850KOA.com. 2 ways to get news and traffic when you want it 24/7.
This winter, won't it be great to get outside and enjoy how beautiful Colorado's weather can really be? And what better way to enjoy a nice summer evening than by relaxing in your backyard on a new deck with Elk Cross Timbers? Why go through the time and expense getting your old, worn-out deck ready for summer when you can have a Cross Timbers deck with its low maintenance and proven durability? Now's the best time to start planning on getting that Cross Timbers deck installed before summer gets here. Go to FowlerPet.com for one of the 3 Fowler and Pet showrooms to see and feel how Cross Timbers can change your outdoor living.
It's the very best stuff from 850 KOA. The exclusive interviews, the moments that touched all Coloradans, the stories that tied us together as a community. For a limited time, get them all on a free CD. The best of 850 KOA. To get your free CD, call now, and our best moments are yours forever. Find out how to get your free CD for a limited time by calling 1-800-956-4600. That's 1-800-956-4600. 1-800-956-4600.
If they play inside.
You'll see them on the mountain. The network with more live Mountain West broadcasts than you'll see anywhere else. If you don't already get the mountain, call your local cable provider. Mountain. We've got game. You may have heard that a diet rich in antioxidants helps promote a healthy heart. But do you know where to find them? Welch's 100% grape juice. It's full of powerful antioxidants, just like red wine. Help protect your heart with delicious Welch's 100% grape juice.
Many of you with adjustable rate mortgages are confused or anxious, but you're not alone. In a moment, I'll discuss what to consider when your ARM payments increase.
See if there's any parking and all that.
Yeah, there is.
You said there's the shop yet. Well, shops and all that. Next left half a mile.
Yeah, stop. There's a hotel.
Free park. Ski lift center. Winter Park, we made it. Let's see if we can break a leg or two on the slopes. Yeah, half a mile down. To the left. Yeah, there's the
see, let's see.
lifts.
Going through, yeah, going through here. Gonna go back that way.
And then your next left over here will be the town.
they're doing there.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Maybe
We can take a left at the light.
left here.
Drop off there.
Keep on going.
Yeah, keep going down. See.
There's nothing there.
Parking lot and stuff up here. Shoot, I'm sure you're gonna have to. Sure, we always park in the ski rental area. Always park there.
Yeah, where we can see the
Parking lot back there. We're here.
we can't see anybody coming off the.
We're gonna have to walk down through the town and stuff.
We have to go back toward that. Either come around or.
Yeah, we're gonna turn around up here. The big town of Winter Park. Go this way.
Do these places up there. Yep.
I got it. I'm balanced. If I drop them,
I got him. I got him.
The trail. We ate here before at Stoley's. Those red umbrellas.
Oh, really?
He actually had it.
First racer on the hill, Courtney Colleen from Boston College. This start getting 20 years in from the University of Montana. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we do have our first female racer through the finish line for the afternoon. Ladies, giant slalom run. That was Courtney Colleen from Boston College.
Francisco Lane from BC comes through the finish line with a time of 65.70. 65.70. Combined time for Ms. Courtney Colleen from Boston College is a 1:34.75. 1:34.75. Just over the pitch there, that's Kelly Anderson from the University of Montana. Behind her, Rory Filson from the University of St. Thomas. In the start gate, Anna Benson from Brown. And across the finish line, Kelly Anderson from the University of Montana. Time for Miss Anderson is a 70.95. 70.95. Combined time for Kelly Anderson from the University of Montana is a 1:39.74. 1:39.74. This is Rory Filson from UST. Behind her, you're going to see Alyssa Dean from Plymouth State. And in the start gate, Johanna Aker from Rocky Mountain College. And across the finish line, that's Rory Filson from UST. Time for Miss Filson is a 68.32. 68.32. Combined time for Rory Filson is a 1:36.99. 1:36.99. Just over the pitch there, that's Alyssa Dean from Plymouth State University. Behind her, you're going to see Johanna Aker from Rocky Mountain College. And the start gate, Brittany Lindstrom from the University of California, Los Angeles. Across the finish line, that's Alyssa Dean from Plymouth State. Time for Miss Dean is a 66.02. 66.02 combined time for Alyssa Dean from Plymouth State.
So that's the learning.
Yeah, that's a bunny hill right there.
The little bunny hillers. Oh shit! Shit. That's not good. Oh shit. I don't think you're supposed to go through the red. That guy just wiped out over there. That's that down there.
I don't know, they don't have any of those
He's trying to go sideways on his snowboard. Wiped out.
What's up through those stairs there?
Did they?
That's patrol.
Yeah. Ski patrol.
Coming for you. Now's the stop. Is it one of yours? No. We're gonna work on stopping. He's good.
How do they get back up? They ride on the thing here. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's just garbage. It's not garbage. You want to eat it? Water, glass paper.
That's okay. No poles.
Josh, when we get to the end, you keep leaning back. And that's why you're falling down. That's it, Dylan.
He cannot stay on his skis over there. Keep falling over.
Okay. That was really good there. Come on, Matthew, let's go up. I want to see that again. You want to walk over there?
To where?
You want to walk over there?
Yeah. I like watching all the beginners wiping out.
College girls, huh?
Memories of the learning curve. I had to do that the first, gosh, forever. Like 2 days.
I took a lesson almost every year at King.
She's good on her snowboard. Nah, not this trip.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. Ah, it's so close.
You think that guy, the instructor guy's a thug? Yeah, probably.
Good job, buddy. Josh, slow down. Slow down, Josh. Oh.
Wipe out.
Right.
Oh.
She can't even walk in that place so long.
Still can't believe she went through that fence.
Yes.
Like their fire. Like their last little bonfire they made there. What time do you get off? Hey, let's go to the brewery. Having fun in the ice?
He's been over there trying to get up here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, remember when you were going earlier?
Oh, yeah. ska.
Town.
The big town of, oh, this is the town.
Oh, this is town right here.
The Viking Lodge.
This is
Main Street.
Yeah.
Blue Sky Shoes.
There's a mall right there.
That's the mall.
Check so.
Codwell Banker. Wow, they got a 7-Eleven here. I mean,
Yep.
darn.
McDonald's. There's a visitor center. Playground. Hotel. More shops. Places. Here is Conoco. Nando's Pizza. That's a good pizza place. Park right there.
That is the big town. One stoplight.
There's Freight.
Oh, this is the coldest city. Trying to be the coldest city.
There's a moose.
Man, they've been trying to build this town. Oh, there's dogs sledding over there.
Yeah. Someone said this is going to be an all golf course through here. Yep, dog sled through there. That's all, man. Look at that.
Hey, liquor.
Yep, liquor store. I still need a more pull over here. I need to get some spirits.
Hey, is that they got a Kentucky Fried Chicken? Wow.
They got Safeway. Fraser's kind of a little bit more built up. This is where the hill where you go tubing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I take a turn right up there. It's right up. So you can see it from here. Oh yeah, right there. It looks like right there. Yeah, take a look.
I guess they live their Christmas stuff up
Year round. Probably. Winery. Tasting room's open.
Crooked Creek Salon.
There's Ace. West Fraser.
Pretty nice town.
Yeah, we're gonna go around this curve, and that's where the YMCA is at. Just doing some great maybe. Just pushing it. That's great.
Trying to push some snow. It looks like this town should be the coldest town in America.
Yeah. I don't know what Minnesota looks like. See, I think the YMCA owns all that land back in behind these trees here. Something burning over there. Office. See, I think it's coming up right here. It's a sunset. Pole Bear, Pole Creek Valley. Someone's been skiing. And we had to drive back and forth this every day. That was one of the things I thought was kind of.
They stay all the way out here?
Yeah. This is the only place that's big enough for them. I heard that.
There was that church. They stay in that church back there?
No, not that church, no. It's right here, isn't it? It's up the side right there. Old Creek.
Old Creek Meadows.
There. Resort. Snow Mountain Nordic, yeah, this is it. Carpenter Family Center, yeah.
YMCA. They own all this.
Yep. This is cross country skiing here. Cross country. Yeah. Riding center. Right. That is.
Sorry, Smokey the Bear, yours is too small for the snow drifts.
Cabins are that way. Here's the registration. There's a place you can get the skis over there. There's registration. There's a chapel.
The big chapel.
There's
Whispering
a pool.
Pines Chapel.
Take this away. Yeah, the pool's that way. See all the cabins. See, there, we can go down and look at this cabin here. There's another tubing hill or sledding hill. Is that a
Religious
cabin?
activity.
Yeah, this is the biggest cabin right here.
Really?
I think so. There's cabins there, see? Yeah, right there, there's sledding. We're sledding through there. That's where we're going to do that. They put a fence up there, though, but it's sliding through there. See, this is a big
Silver Sage Lodge.
See, there's one here, one here. See, look at all of them that are here. Let you go down there. See,
Yeah.
See, there's Chief Way, Craft Shop, Meadows Lanes Lodge, Livery Stable.
Kidney Center.
Gaylord. That's all the places. See, you can see the mountain from here. See it?
That was at the back side of
Winter Park, Mary Jane. I'm not gonna take you all through there because we don't know if we might ever get back out.
Yeah, stuck.
No, I don't think we'll get stuck. I just think we might get lost. There's a bunch of curves and turns, and I think that's where they pick you up. Go. Scan. Playground through there. See all of them are like that. There's another one over here. But they're all up to, yeah, right there's the pool, I think.
The white building
right,
there?
Yeah, that's the pool. You know, large enough to hold, say, 50 or 60 kids. Plus, they go use that chapel to, you know, have a church service or have, you know, they have service, I think, in the morning, don't they? And then they have it in the got some beer here.
Oh, they're Dale Earnhardt Jr. fans.
There's a Fraser Directory.
Snowmobile tours.
See, there's some tubing around that.
Yeah, I see some tubing over there. Boy, their parking lot was full.
There, yeah.
Is that the way Denver looked?
Yeah. That's the way Denver looked, right? Like just like this. Like I said, I felt like I was in Winter Park or, you know, some ski resort with all that snow pile. You know, it's all piled up like that.
The pub.
stop at this mall? Walk around?
If you want to, I'm good.
You want to? You alright? That's where the chocolate is there, too.
Oh, yeah.
You want to get chocolate?
Can I get some fudge?
Okay. I'm going to find a place to park. It's not really much of a mall.
It's probably better than Irving Mall and malls in Dallas. Copper Creek Square. Big Moose. One dang battery.
It's a rock climbing wall.
It's clear.
Catch the bus and ski. Go to the ski resort.
And we're saying bye to Estes Park.
Yep.
Estes Park. Winter
Estes
Park.
Park.
God, that freaking altitude is freaking my...
I'm smoking Mary Jane.
God, I've been smoking too much Mary Jane over the last few hours.
Yeah, get too much beaver at the Beaver Village.
Estes Park. Where the hell did I get Estes Park at?
See, the Continental